Hi everyone, it's Cheryl with Get Fit Now with Cheryl's fitness page. And I wanted to talk a little bit more tonight about working out over 40 and even if you have bad knees. Last time I talked about how I became a trainer after I'd torn the meniscus in my left knee and had to have surgery on that, was on crutches for 6 weeks. And then a couple years after that, I ripped the other one so bad that I had to have total knee replacement. And was scared to death that I'd never be able to do my workouts again, and worked really hard in physical therapy. My therapist called me his star patient because I really wanted to get back to my workouts. That's why I became a personal trainer. I loved helping people, and he assured me that the only thing I would not be able to do is run and jump. No high impact, which, okay, you can modify things. He also said I'd never be able to get back down into child's pose, which I proved him wrong. You can do that. The knee replacement itself, the metal isn't supposed to bend that much, but with some work, it does. I can't do hero's pose because I can't sit on my heels, but that's the way it goes. You can live with that. But there's other things you can do. And if you're over 40 and it's hard to work out, to some of the workouts on the market now, you can do your own and you can modify everything. I do all the Beachbody workouts. In fact, my favorite thing to do is kickboxing. And I also love to weight train. And both those things you can do with bad knees. You just have to modify. Weight training is great for bad knees. Do you know the best thing you can do to strengthen your knees before you have a major problem is squats? And I know that's probably not what anyone wants to hear because they're not people's favorite workout. But squats strengthen your quadriceps and help the muscles around your knee get strong so you won't have problems later. I know Zumba is really big and everybody loves Zumba, but it's really hard on your knees. Be careful if you do Zumba because the twisting and turning can really hurt your knees later. Also running, I mean that's how I wrecked mine, running on asphalt. It's easy to run on the streets, fastest thing to do, you know, you just get out and run, you don't have to drive somewhere, but you're better off to go to a track because running on the streets will just wear down your knees and eventually there's nothing left and you end up like I did on the surgery table having to have the knee replacement. But you can modify like jumping jacks, okay? You can't jump anymore, so you modify the jumping jack by stepping your feet together and then step one foot out and then back in and then the other foot out and back in. And you lift your arms over your head and back down just like you would if you were jumping doing a jumping jack. And believe me, if you do it fast enough, you're going to get your heart rate up. It's the same. You can get the same kind of workout doing that. Excuse my grandfather's clock. I thought it would be a little faster than it is and it's a little slow. Be careful also of lunges. Lunges are hard on your knees, especially if you're going too far forward. Be sure to keep your knee behind your toes. Don't go too far forward. And when you have bad knees, don't try to take too big a step back. Make the lunge smaller. It's okay. You'll still get the workout. You don't have to have the big step back. As far as kickboxing, I do all the kicks. I do the roundhouse, I do a back kick, I do the front kick. You can do all of them. The only thing I can't do is the jump kick. But so you modify that. So you do a front kick or a roundhouse instead. Same thing. You know, it doesn't hurt you and you still get the workout. My favorite workout is combat and I do everything in there but the jump kicks. And instead of that, I do the step and front kick. No big deal. Also, walking instead of running. You know, I thought I would miss running a lot, and at first I really did. But if you walk, and I mean walk fast, not walk so you can carry on a conversation and you're just sauntering around and checking out the scenery, that's not going to get your heart rate up. When I mean walk fast, I mean getting your heart rate up, you're almost breathless, you can't carry on a full conversation, just like you were jogging. You're almost to the point of jogging, but you're not. You're still walking. That's where you need to be. I see people out and they tell me they're walking on their lunch hour and they're getting their workout in on their lunch hour. And then I see them and they're just carrying on this conversation with their friend and taking their time. And it's like, you're not getting a workout in if that's what you're doing. If you can carry on a good conversation while you're walking, you're not getting a workout in. You can invest in a cheap heart rate monitor. I got one at Target for like $10.99 to wear on your wrist. It's not completely accurate, but it's good enough so you can get an idea of how fast your heart rate's going. And you need to be about 75% of your maximum heart rate. And that you figure by taking your age, subtract that from 220, and that is your maximum heart rate. Then take 75% of that, and that's where you should be. And you should try to be there for at least 20 minutes a day, if you can. If not, work up to it, a little bit at a time. And the same thing with the distance. Start small, work up to it. But do work. Don't, like I said, just walk and sauntering, taking your time and checking everything out, because then you're not getting the workout. And it's not doing you any good, and it's just wasting your time. And if you want to be fit, you got to work at it. There's no other way. Also, a lot of the workouts, they show people running side to side. You can shuffle. If you can't do high impact, shuffle. Just step, 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 step. You don't have to run. You don't have to jump. And yoga. I can't recommend yoga enough for if you're over 40. I mean, yoga is so good for balance. And believe me, when you get older, you're going to want to keep your balance. The main reason older people break bones is they fall. They lose their balance and they fall and they break their bones, and that ruins them forever. It's like all these people you hear about breaking their hips is when they get old. That's the reason. Their balance is off. If you do yoga twice a week, and there's beginning yogas. I mean, people think it's some hard, really terrible, difficult thing to do. I did. I thought I'd never be able to do yoga. I thought, oh my God, there's no way I could get into these poses that they do. But you know what? I do. I started off with a simple Vinyasa yoga DVD that I ordered from Amazon. And I worked up to it. And if you do a little bit of it a day and concentrate on the poses, and don't worry if you're not exactly perfect. Try to do it in front of a mirror, but if you can't, just do what you can, and you'll feel the stretch. And you'll feel so good afterwards. You feel taller, longer, leaner afterwards, and your balance improves. And it's so important, the stretching is. It really is. Tree pose is one of the best things you can do to improve your balance. And it's one of my favorite poses to do. I also like triangle. That's another thing that will help stretch. It stretches you from arm to arm, leg to leg, and your balance. And that's, like I said, so important. And, if you can do 30 minutes of yoga twice a week, you will feel so much better inside and out. It's so calming. And it is a workout. I mean, I finished 35, 40 minutes of yoga, and I'm sweating. I mean, it's not something that... It isn't cardio, but you do get a workout. I remember when Madonna was doing yoga, and it was all the rage, and everybody, tried to copy her. She got really toned with yoga, and you can do it, and it's a great workout. So, you need the cardio, and you need the weightlifting, squats, lunges. They're great for strengthening your legs. You need to work on the upper body too, but tonight we're just talking about bad knees. Another thing with bad knees, you can do what you have to do. I was just at a convention last month, and they had a party on the aircraft carrier down there, the ship, and the party was on the 3rd deck. And I looked at all those stairs, and I thought, okay, if I try to take all those stairs, go up all those stairs, I'll make it, but I'm going to be really slow and really sore, and I'm not going to be able to stand up there and talk to anybody because I'm going to have to sit down. My knee's going to be killing me. So I asked, and there's an elevator. And there's no shame in that. You have to do what you have to do. You can find ways to deal with a bad knee. Just be careful. Just stretch when you need to, and be careful. When I talk about squats, don't do really low. Don't do any lower than you feel you can. You don't want to get your bottom below your knees. That's not what I'm talking about. But you need to strengthen those muscles so you don't end up wrecking your knees completely. Because believe me, knee replacement surgery is not something I ever want to do again. I'm going to make sure I take really good care of the other ones so I don't do that again. I recommend you do everything you can now to keep from doing that. If I'd known then what I know now, I would have changed how I work out. You know, when I was a kid, I hated gym, I hated PE, I never worked out. And I didn't until, like I said last time, probably in the 80s, start working out. And it's too bad, because I think if I'd strengthened those muscles from when I was younger, I wouldn't have had the problems I had later. But, you know, live and learn. So I'm trying to give advice now for those of you, you know, just hitting 40 or thinking about it, or those of you just after you turn 40. Watch the knees, be careful. There's a lot of good programs out there you can work out to, but there's a lot that can hurt you too. So think about it. If it hurts, if it twists, if it hurts, don't do it. Just don't. It's not worth the pain later. And if you're worried about what somebody's going to think about you, don't. It's their problem, not yours. Your problem is your body, and you need to be careful and protect it. That's what matters. So anyway, I love doing these Facebook Lives. If anybody was interested in more information, or I'm still working on, I'm losing, like I said last time, I gained 20 pounds after the last surgery, and I'm determined to lose them. I stayed the same this week. It's like the plateaus really get to me. And I have not been able to work out since I went down to that convention in April, because I was rear-ended and pretty harsh and got a pretty bad whiplash. I was going to say pretty good whiplash, but I don't think there is such a thing as a good whiplash. I got a bad whiplash and been seen going to physical therapy, and so I haven't been able to work out. My therapist really wants me to be able to get back into yoga very soon, so I'm hoping within the next week or two I can get back to my yoga, because I really miss it. And I really hate being as unable to work out like I am. It's terrible. So that's part of the reason I think that I'm just hitting this plateau right now. So the other part is feeling sorry for myself, and when you do that, you tend to eat a little more, but I'm trying to watch it. So I'd love for you to join me on this journey, you know, losing weight, working out. I'd love to give you more tips. You can find me on my Facebook page here, Get Fit Now with Cheryl, and I'd love any likes, you know, join me on the page, like my page. And also I have my website, Get Fit Now with Cheryl, and I also have CherylOsler.com, where I have an easy guide to beginning yoga if you're interested in that. But please come see me on my website, the main website, Get Fit Now with Cheryl, where I write articles and blog every week or so and give you tips and training help and some dietary information. So I'd love to see you there. Thank you guys. I hope you have a great evening, and stay fit and stay safe with those knees, okay? Bye.